Hi everyone, my name is Kirsten. So for today alone, I thought it would be really interesting to kind of have a little bit of a chat about this third Alice installment. So real quickly, before I begin with this third Alice installment, if you're new here, consider subscribing to my channel. I upload new videos 3 days a week, every single weekend. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and get started with this whole Alice 3 installment. So recently, not that long ago, and by not that long ago, I actually mean a few weeks, I was randomly scrolling around on Twitter. So what I saw was either a like or maybe a possible retweet from Alpha Omega Sin. In case if you don't know who he is, he's a gamer on YouTube. He talks about gaming related stuff, reactions, horror related stuff, that kind of thing. If you're interested, please do consider checking out his channel. He makes really great videos. I'll be sure to link his channel in the description box down below, or a card will pop up of his YouTube channel that will be up in the cards. But with that being said, if you're familiar with American McGee's Alice, and if you're also familiar with the sequel, Alice Madness Returns, then that should be familiar to you and that should ring a bell at some point. Because as soon as I saw this, I was so excited about the new installment that's gonna come out whenever that future may be. So I really have a big interest at heart. Ever since American McGee's Alice and actually played the game, I really loved the game generally, and I got to play the sequel. Both of those games are really fun, and it kind of surprised me a little bit because, you know, I randomly saw it on Twitter and I felt like it just popped up like toast, like bink! American McGee's gonna make a third Alice installment. And I'm all like, oh my god, yes. Yes! I am so pumped and so excited for this game to come out eventually because I really do love the series very much. And to be completely honest with you guys, I never thought that there was going to be a third installment to the Alice series. I thought it would just end with just Madness Returns generally, and that would be it. But the series as a whole, it's really fascinating to me because it's a mixture of like a fairy tale. It's also a little bit dark and twisted at the same time. So fairy tales that turn into like a really good dark twist is something I really get into very much. And with the fact that I got to play the Alice game, I definitely fell in love with it the moment I started playing that game. To be completely honest with you, after Madness Returns ended, there was parts of me that was hoping for a sequel, but at the same time, again, I thought Madness Returns was going to be the final installment to the Alice series until just recently on Twitter, as I mentioned earlier. But weirdest thing is after the American McGee's Alice game, I never would have thought that there would be a sequel to that. So the fact that it got released, like, what was it? Like, I think 10 years later in the making for Alice Madness Returns to come out, that is definitely was a little bit trippy for me. And ever since I saw the trailer for Madness Returns, I was just so excited for it. And fun fact, by the way, I used to do a Let's Play of Alice Madness Returns on this channel at some point, and for some weird reason, I ended up deleting all of it simply because it was a bit cringy for one thing, and I felt like I wasn't really good with like commentaries and that kind of thing, and I was just a little bit socially awkward. I finished the game, but the point I wanted to make after I finished the game is that I'm not gonna really spoil anything with the ending generally, but the only thing I can say is that the way it kind of ended, I had high hopes that there would be some sort of secrets revealed at the end for some weird reason, which I don't know why I thought that. It was a really long time ago, but I do remember, if I do recall, I watched a trailer where it was like never before seen cutscenes and some things that were cut off from the game as well. which I'm not really sure why. I didn't think they would cut off those parts of the video game, but oh well, it is what it is. Just American McGee and EA can just basically do whatever they want with the game, honestly. But I'm actually kind of curious to know what this third installment is gonna hold, especially now that it's called Alice Asylum. So it kind of makes me wonder if she went back to the insane asylum, or maybe it could be like some sort of prequel, or maybe it could be like a remake to the Alice series. I honestly don't know, but I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this third Alice installment. Leave it in the comments down below, and I'm sure we'll have a little bit of a discussion about this for those of you in the gaming, horror, or American McGee community. I did a little bit of research on this as well. Apparently, there was something before this whole Alice Asylum thing came into play. So if you're familiar with Alice, what was it, Otherlands? It was supposed to be, I think, a gaming MMO or something along those lines, and for some weird reason, EA didn't like the idea of that game. I think instead it came out as like a few animated series generally, which surprisingly is not really that much compared to what I've heard. There was only like 2 animated stories in the DVD or Blu-ray, either one, which of course I thought it was gonna be like what Halo Legends would be, like where they used to have like, you know, like these different random animations. I thought it was gonna be something like that. It was something like that, but generally it was just 2 animations, and it seems as though I felt like it wasn't really that much of a publication or something that was supposed to be published, because I felt like it was, you know, what's the point in having just 2 animations, you know? But I think I'm getting a little bit off sidetrack here. So with the fact that this whole Outlands got canceled and that it eventually came out into an animation, American McGee ended up creating this idea of like Alice Asylum, which is very interesting. I honestly don't know much about like the storyline or how it's gonna be. I can only predict, especially based off of his blog posts I've read online. And of course, speaking of American McGee, I do recall that I got to see a little bit of a link to this post I saw on Twitter, and it got led to his blog post where you could sign up for any updates on this new Alice installment, or something to do with Kickstarter. I can't really remember, but basically signing up for any sort of updates on this Alice third installment. I could be wrong, but it was something along those lines, so I'll be sure to list the blog post down below in case if you're interested in checking out. So in order for him to really make this Alice Asylum installment to come out with EA, he does have a YouTube and a Kickstarter. His Kickstarter project currently is with this card game that he's producing called Out of the Woods, which seems like a pretty cool game. It's kind of like a dark version of Uno. I thought that seemed like a really interesting game, and the designing work with this game. As a matter of fact, I got to see a few of his previous live streams on this whole Out of the Woods project, which is very interesting, I think, with like all the design work and that kind of thing. He made like a few streams or videos about the third Alice installment. I haven't had a chance to watch them yet, but I do plan so in the future, definitely. Another thing I wanted to point out is definitely go check out his channel and try to support him on Kickstarter, because if you support his project with Kickstarter, not only will the money that will be donated to his project will go towards that whole Out of the Woods project, but it'll also help to better create a third Alice installment. So I think that is really cool, and I thought it would be really interesting for you guys to really know about. I just thought I would kind of make this video to kind of bring awareness on this third installment. Again, I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. Definitely go show him some support on YouTube and Kickstarter. His channel will also be in the cards or in the description box right down below if you're interested in checking his work out as well. Personally, I'm a really huge fan of all of his projects and his work, especially with Alice Madness Returns and his project with Out of the Woods. His online shop is also very interesting too. I think it's a collaboration with his girlfriend where he would sell items related to Alice related projects, like with wallets and umbrellas and even some games. I think there's also posters or prints that they sell online too, so I think that is very, very interesting. Again, I'm really excited for this project to happen, and I'm really excited for the third installment to come out. So I'm actually kind of curious to know, what are your thoughts and feelings about this new Alice installment? I'm actually really curious to know. So please do leave it in the comments down below, and again, we'll have a discussion about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video altogether, so if you did, be sure to sucker punch that like button down below. And of course, if you're new here, and if you haven't already, please do dedicate the time and effort to subscribe to my lovely channel, join my little army of darkness, and if you hit that notification button, you will be updated with brand new videos every single Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. If you guys are interested in following me outside of YouTube, all of my social medias will be listed in the description box right down below if you are indeed interested in checking them out yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a completely chill week, an awesome day or night, and I will talk to you all soon in the next video. So until then, stay completely dark and so fucking brutal and awesome, my friends. Take care. Bye for now.